So welcome back, everyone. My next guest, who's also never been on with me before, I have with me Mel Mason, and she is, you're a clutter expert is what you are, the owner of Decluttering Spaces. Welcome to the show. You're also an author. You have a book. It's called Freedom from Clutter. I'm showing it right here on Facebook. We're live on Facebook to everybody out there. So tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, and I got to talk about the book real quickly first. Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am known as the clutter expert, and I didn't get my name by accident. I was actually the cluttered mess myself, and so I've overcome my own clutter. But when people hear the word clutter, they also just think it's just about the stuff.
Right.
But clutter shows up in many different ways: being overweight, addiction, being too busy, trying to hit that goal that you want to hit, and then something sabotages you. And so I've had many of the manifestations. I was addicted to crack cocaine and crystal meth. I was overweight. I was in toxic relationships. I was busy and overwhelmed. I was in debt, and I've learned how to overcome all of it and keep all of those manifestations from coming back. And that's why I'm the clutter expert.
Wow, that is really amazing. You would never even put those two together. Now, I'm going to open up the lines of the audience for everyone to call throughout the rest of this show to get entered in to win a copy of your book. So let's talk about the book. It says, the guaranteed, foolproof, step-by-step process to remove the stuff that's weighing you down.
Yes, and it's not about the stuff, because the stuff is simply just a symptom.
Mm-hmm.
So what sets me apart from an organizer is I come from the philosophy that the outside is only a mirror of the inside. And you can work on the outside all day long, you can clean your surfaces, you can go on those fad diets, you can do whatever, but all the manifestations come back, right? And so if you don't get to the root, which is the inner clutter, it will always come back. And so I address the root so that you have that lasting change.
The root is inside you.
Yes.
That's really the case. We've got our lines open here for everyone to get entered in to win this book. Maybe it's you or someone that you know. Our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. So obviously your approach is hugely different. It's not necessarily about coming in and clearing out the kitchen pantry. It's way more than that.
It's way deeper than that. So that's just addressing the external. But what I ultimately do is, so no matter what the manifestation of clutter is, however it's showing up, when you boil it down to its simplest reason, it comes down to an unwillingness to look at it. It's like, nope, don't want to deal with you, don't know what to do with it, so I'm just not going to look.
Right. How many people do that?
Yeah, exactly. And because the outside is simply a mirror, what that really means is there's an unwillingness to look within.
Mm-hmm.
And until you become willing to look within at your own inner clutter, which is unprocessed emotions from traumatic events, limiting beliefs and stories that we make up about ourselves, the resentments, the judgments, and the fears that we hang on to, till we get rid of that stuff, the clutter's always going to come back.
It's amazing. Now, people can call you direct. You do free consultations?
I do.
So the phone number to call is 619-602-3725. Her website is declutteringspaces.com. And folks, she works worldwide. So now, how does that work? I want you to talk to about what it looks like when somebody calls you and you got to have that consultation with them, find out what's going on. Because when you say decluttering spaces and they go up there and they check it out, it's so much more.
Yeah, so when we have a consultation, I not only talk about, they come to me because they think they have a clutter problem.
Right.
And then I teach them the truth about clutter and what's really at the root of it. And so I can work with people in many ways. So I can come into your house and help you with the physical stuff, but I also have clients that fly me all over the world. I work with them in person all over the world, and I coach clients all over the world. So all you need is a phone, and I can work with you anywhere, but I also have clients that fly me because they want my expertise in the way that I work with them in their physical space as well.
So somebody is dealing with that emotion of I'm cluttered, right? And all of their, because if you're cluttered in one area in your life, most likely you're cluttered in a lot of other areas in your life.
The way we do one thing is the way we do everything.
Exactly. And so the question on that is, when they call you, are they calling you? Do you have people literally calling you for their kitchen cabinets, or how does that work?
Yeah, I mean, that's what they think they're coming to me for,
Right.
because they think that's what's the problem. So everybody thinks that the symptom is the problem, and so then I get to educate them on what the real root is, and if you want the lasting change, what really needs to happen.
So, but do you come in and work with people to declutter as well?
Yeah, and my gift is creating order out of chaos in any space. I also have 8 years in the furniture delivery and installation business, so this little tiny but mighty human being moves all the furniture,
Wow.
loads it, hauls it away. I have a truck, I take stuff to donation.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, so my client's only job is to sit there and make decisions.
The question I also have too is, that's coming up, is there's people who, they're hoarders, right? There's somebody it's a different kind of a clutter.
So we're actually gonna interrupt you for just a second, because I don't use labels on people.
Okay.
When we label somebody something, it implies they can never show up any differently. So I don't believe in labels. So people aren't actually hoarders, they have hoarding tendencies.
Okay, so let's say somebody does, or they've got a parent or something like that does. Can you help with those people?
Absolutely, those are most of my clients.
I was gonna say, because that is, now we've got our lines open here for everyone to get entered into her book, to win a book. It's Freedom from Clutter. That cluttering out of my mouth is not happening right there for a second. I'll do it one more time. Freedom from Clutter. It's the guaranteed, foolproof, step-by-step process to remove the stuff that's weighing you down. We've got our lines open here. Our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. It's not just about getting things cleaned up. It's really going down to the root of the problem of why are you being that way in the first place, right?
100%.
I'm loving that. Now, okay, let's just talk about this. You said that clutter is just a symptom, right? So of something deeper. What are some of the biggest internal blocks that people how they get stuck like that?
Yeah, so most manifestations of clutter come from experiencing trauma. So we have an experience or an event that happens to us in our lives, and we don't know how to process it. We're not taught, our parents don't know how to handle emotions, so what happens is those emotions get trapped in our body, and then from 0 to 8, we don't have a filter, so we believe everything that we're told. And we develop these limiting beliefs, and when an event happens, we also make up a story about that. 2 people, 5 people can experience the same event and make up a completely different story about it. And so those beliefs that we develop and take on are our operating system. We're like computers. So those beliefs then continue to cause more situations just like that to keep happening until we change the belief. So it's really learning how to experience and release the unprocessed emotions and identify the limiting beliefs and change them so that you can create a new program and then create a new reality.
Her phone number to call is 619-602-3725. The website is declutteringspaces.com. She works worldwide. She does free consultations, and we've got our lines open here. And I'm going to let everyone call throughout the rest of the show for the book, Freedom from Clutter. And our number here is 602-277-5369. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's someone that you know. You got to tell them about it, because there's so many people. That's what I love about my show the most, is the information that they get. It may not be you, but that's what networking is all about. Tell somebody what you hear. You never know, you could change somebody's life. So let's say somebody's overwhelmed and doesn't know where to start. What do they do?
Yeah, that is the biggest problem that most of my clients come to me with.
Sure.
And the feeling of overwhelm doesn't just go away. But what I've learned about the feeling of overwhelm is it's about small committed action. The solution to not being overwhelmed is taking some tiny committed action, whether that's making one decision about something, washing one dish, folding one piece of laundry, making one little decision, whatever it is, it's that committed small action which starts to dissipate that feeling of overwhelm. But when you're also dealing with the physical clutter, people have a tendency, they get so overwhelmed because they take everything out of their closet all at once and throw it on the bed like Marie Kondo, and then they're like, oh my gosh, what do I do with all of this? So my method is 1 square foot at a time, one small area at a time.
Yeah, it's better as well, because you can make better decisions that way too.
And you get the win, like you finish a square foot, now you have some completion energy and you get the dopamine hit and you're feeling amazing. You're like, oh, this is easy, I can keep going.
Right, absolutely, I think that's great. Now, let's just talk about whether it's declutter or organize. Can you help people with ideas and things like that of what to do?
Oh, 100%. But the best part about what I teach is your ideas, you learn to create the systems that work for you. I could put all kinds of systems in place for you, but they're not your systems.
Right.
So I teach you how to figure out what works for you.
That's great. We've got our lines open here. I'm losing my voice. We've got our lines open here for everyone to get entered in to win a copy of her book. It's Freedom from Clutter, the guaranteed foolproof step-by-step process to remove the stuff that's weighing you down. And our number here is 602-277-5369. Check her out on her website. It's decluttering spaces.com. What are your final words to everybody out there?
The only requirement for you to get free from clutter in every area of your life is your presence. Your presence is required. And if you didn't win the book, you can actually download the entire thing for free by going to freegiftfrommel.com.
Go to her website and check her out. It's declutteringspaces.com.